topics: BitLocker, NPS, and WMI filtering. As there is a limited time, because in this week we have to complete at the second paper and start third paper. All right. So, very first thing, we will go one by one step. So today we are going to do BitLocker. After remote access, it's a BitLocker concept. So if I give you a simple term like what exactly is BitLocker, in our normal client system, if I show you, you will see that BitLocker option. If I right click here, you can see here turn on BitLocker, correct? It's there, no? That means what? BitLocker is nothing but it encrypts your drive. That's it. Its work is to encrypt your drive so that you can your all the files and folders, everything confidential, whatever is there, will be safe. So this BitLocker is mainly used to encrypt C drive. Why? Because in C drive there may be some important files, confidential files that you don't want that others should get all the files for that. So in those purpose, this BitLocker is implemented in C drive. So what exactly happens here when you implement a C drive? you are not, you can't access your server. That means what? Whenever you start your server, you are going to get one password. So you need to enter that password. If you don't know the password, then your server will never open. Same thing, if any admin is there who knows the password and that person has given a password and the server is on. But still, when they log in, they can't access the C drive. It will be fully locked. Other drive is there, they can access it, but C drive will be fully locked. You cannot do anything over there. You need a password, then only C drive will be open. Otherwise, it will not. So there is also a disadvantage of this is it is highly secured and very risky. That means if you forget your password and you couldn't able to couldn't able to bypass that startup credential. When you start your system, you will get one credential that you need to enter a password, then only it will go forward. And if you forget the password and also you forget the recovery key also, your hard drive is gone. There is no other way to bypass it, no matter what. There is no third party tool, nothing. It's gone. So that's why it's very, very risky and very, very highly secured. So BitLocker is very rarely used. It's not used frequently. If there is a requirement that you need that BitLocker, then only it is implemented. Otherwise, it is never implemented in infrastructure because of this risky part. Clear? So now we will see what exactly it is, how it works. If you see, then you are going to understand more. So in order to configure this BitLocker, first of all, we need to go to our server manager. Is it recording? All right. Next, how to install BitLocker in Windows in client operating system. You will see directly. You don't have to do anything. Just simply go to your properties. Here you will get BitLocker. But in terms of server, you don't have that option. You have to install it. If I go here, I will not see that option. Correct. So we need to install it. That install how? That means it is a role that we have to install it. So add roles and features. Next, next, next. It's not a role. It's a feature. Okay. BitLocker is a feature. It's not a role. It's a feature. So we need to take this, add features. Done. Two options are there: BitLocker network unlock and BitLocker drive encryption. We need to go with BitLocker drive encryption always. Not this. Don't be confused. Then next, install. Done. Now in BitLocker there is something. After installation of this BitLocker, you need to restart 2 times. If you restart one time, it will not work. You have to restart 2 times. Always remember. So close it and restart. So now our BitLocker is installed. Let's see now whether we can get that BitLocker. See, no items match your search. So you have to restart it once again. So that's why you have, after installation of, of BitLocker, you need to restart 2 times. After 2 times only, it will show you that BitLocker option. From tomorrow, we will try to start by 8, okay? Because we need to complete by this week, at least 90%. See, it's now showing, correct? So now let's go to BitLocker drive encryption. So before turning on, we can see here we have only C drive. We don't have any other drives, correct? In order to keep your recovery key, we need one more partition. So how to create? Well, I guess you all know only going to disk management. So let's create. So how much you want, you can create it. So I will create a partition with less amount of space. So 1024. I'm giving only 1 GB because I am not going to keep any huge files. So just the recovery file. So that's why I'm creating a small partition. You can create how much you can. There's no restriction on this. Okay, so I will create one folder over here. Is a recovery. Now the thing is, when I try to turn on the BitLocker for C drive, it will give me one error. What is the error? This device can't use trusted platform module (TPM). Your administrator must set the allow BitLocker without a compatible TPM option in the require additional authentication and startup policy for OS volumes. That means what? There are two types of policy are there. One is group policy, which is for your domain work. And one more policy is there, which is local group policy editor, which is for your server. Okay. So we need to go to local group policy editor. How we will go? We have to give the command gpedit.msc. This is a command to go to your local group policy editor. Enter. So this is my local group policy editor. So we need to go to computer configuration. Under computer configuration, we need to go to the administrative template, Windows components. Under Windows component, we can see here BitLocker drive encryption, correct? Expand that BitLocker drive encryption. We can see operating system drives, fixed data drives, removable data drives, right? So now let's see what it says. We have to go to require additional authentication and startup, correct? So let's see where it is. Can you see here? Require additional authentication and startup. So click for policy settings, enable it. Clear? Next apply, done. Now if I try to turn on, it's asking. So if TPM error comes, you need to go to the local group policy editor and just enable that. Then you can turn on the BitLocker in a server. Now after coming here, you will see two options: insert a USB flash drive, or you want to enter a password. Two types are there to unlock your system. If you go with insert a USB flash drive, that means all your uh, bypass credential will be configured in USB. That means what? When you start your system, your USB should be plugged in. If USB is not plugged in, your server or any system will not turn on. If you go with a password, you need to enter a password. Both ways are there. So right now we are going to go with the enter a password only. So click on enter a password. Give your password to unlock. Stereo 123. Delete 123. Done. Next, where you want to keep your recovery key, because if you forget your password, you need something to recover, correct? So that is the recovery key. So if you want to save it in a flash drive, you want to save the file in your partition, or you want to get a print of your recovery key. Three options are available. So let's go with a save to a file. So I have created a partition for this file. So I will go to that recovery folder, save it. Yes. Done. Now what you want? Encrypting your disk space only, or you want to encrypt the entire drive? So always go with the entire drive. Next. Continue. Now it's asking encryption will begin after a computer restart. So what we will do? Restart. So now you will see when will restart it will ask me a password. That is BitLocker. But it happens if you bitlock your C drive. If you try to bitlock your other partitions, it will not going to ask this. This will be there only when you bitlock your C drive, where your operating system is installed. If you go with the D drive or E drive, you are not going to get this. Okay. So in this part, two options were there. Either you have to go with the flash drive or you have to give the password, correct? So if you're given a password, you need to enter it. If you go with the USB, at this point, you need to plug in the USB, then only it will go forward. If you don't plug in the USB, it will not go forward. Or by chance you have forgot your password, you need to enter the recovery key. So down you can see escape recovery. So when I just give the escape, it will go to the recovery. It's time in over. It's just showing it's not properly encrypted. Something has happened. Let's see. You should create a strong password that uses uppercase and lowercase numbers, symbols, and spaces. Okay. Keep ready your doubts. Keep ready your doubts. So you can see it's encrypting. Clear? This is what BitLocker is. Encrypting your drive, but whenever you encrypt your C drive, don't forget the password. If you forget a password also, keep your recovery file safely. Otherwise, you cannot bypass that. Alright, so show what are the doubts you have, others, whatever we have done till now. Hmm.
ना वो रिमोट डेस्कटॉप का हो गया क्या?
रिमोट डेस्कटॉप क्या?
वही वो जो एडमिन में लॉगिन करने के लिए वो राम यूजर।
रिमोट एक्सेस का?
हम्म।
हाँ, शेयर स्क्रीन। Anyone have any other doubt?
वही डाउट है कुणाल, वो आया है क्या रिमोट डेस्कटॉप?
नहीं हुआ वो, मैं एक्चुअली देखने का भी टाइम नहीं मिला, लेकिन मैं ऐसे सर्च किया था, वहां पे मिला तो नहीं कुछ भी। फिर भी चेक करते, रुको देख के बताते, आज देखता हूँ।
मतलब एक्सेस तो मिलना चाहिए, डीसी तो उधर से, और ये यूज़र है तो उससे तो मिलना चाहिए।
ठीक है, चेक करते हैं, चेक करके बताते हैं।
हम्म।
ठीक है।
और इसका टॉपिक और नेक्स्ट कौन सा है इसका, सेकंड
इसमें
पेपर
और
का?
एक सेकंड पेपर में एनपीएस है और डब्ल्यूएमए फिल्टरिंग है, तो वो हम ये दोनों हम लोग कल कर लेंगे फटाफट, और ट्राई करेंगे 8 बजे लॉग इन करने का, ठीक है।
हाँ, वो एक दो दिन 8 बजे आए, उसके बाद में फिर मामूली टाइम में
हाँ।
आएंगे।
हम्म, क्योंकि इस वीक के अंदर एटलीस्ट सेकंड पेपर और थर्ड पेपर का एटलीस्ट स्टार्ट करना है।
हाँ, फ्राइडे तक कंप्लीट हो गया तो
हम्म। हम्म।
डाउट सभी क्लियर हो जाएगा सेकंड पेपर का।
वही। ठीक है, तो फिर कल विल ट्राई टू लॉग इन बाय 8, एवरीवन ट्राई टू डू इट। ऑलराइट, सो बाय।